Here's my presentation entitled Refresher on the 2023 RPMES Operational Guidelines, Deadlines, and Forms. So basically, we'll be talking about the deadlines of the input forms of our agency focals, as well as the forms that are being submitted by the agency focals. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the presentation outline encompasses the RPMES Form 1, 2, 3, 4, and the summary on the RPMES forms. And of course, the frequency and deadlines. First, the RPMES Form 1 entitled Initial Project Report. So this is a report being used to record the basic information on a program projects, both the ODA or Official Development Assistance and locally funded that are being implemented by the agency, GOCC, or LGU. So it shall contain important information such as the name of the project, component details, fund source, mode of implementation, total program project costs, location, implementation schedule, overall physical and financial targets for the year and by month, output indicators and corresponding monthly targets, and employment generated by the project disaggregated by sex, so male and female. So this report shall be accomplished by the implementing agency or unit. So this is the actual form in accordance with the 2023 RPMS operational guidelines. So I leave this to you to regularly visit and use this as your reference or guide when familiarizing yourself with the actual components of the form. But for the sake of optimizing the system, I'll just show you the version of the integrated forms in the system. Okay, so this is the form. And this is the actual system, the form inside the system. So we have 6 fields or components. First is the program or project title. So the program or project title is the one found in the approved program of work or loan or grant agreement. The second one is the output indicator. So we have to indicate the unit of the major output indicators. So the maximum here is 5, where accomplishment is to be measured as indicated in the program or project documents. Example, kilometers, hectares, beneficiaries, houses, length, percentage, or number, and so on and so forth. What is important here is that it should be measurable, and this is very important as it serves as a metrics for the physical accomplishment. So for programs or projects with more than 5 available output indicators, selection of major output indicators to be listed in this form may be based on the following criteria. So dalawa lang naman, ano? The first one is the degree of relevance or contribution to the program or project objectives and or share in the total program or project cost. As much as possible, the maximum should be 5. Pero gagamitin lang natin yung dalawang criteria na yun for OI or for output indicator kapag talagang kailangan lumampas ng 5, no? So an output indicator specifies the key tangible goods and services the organization or intervention will deliver. They define the project management's terms of accountability that have to be achieved by the end of the intervention period. Okay? So the third one is the financial targets. So this is the amount program for implementation of the program or project with corresponding monthly targets for the year. Dapat po ay in exact figure ito o yung PHP amount. Next is the physical targets, no? The physical targets, it's the monthly overall physical target of the program or project for the year. So this should be in percentage. So yung figure ng percent ang ilalagay natin. Next is the total or rather target employment generated. So that's male and female. So this is to be generated by the program project expressed in number of persons. So there are instances na nakasiro si female, pero ang may laman lang ay male. Pero hindi po, as much as possible, hindi maaring mawalan parehas or mag-zero parehas. Kasi we are aiming nga na employment generated natin ay laging meron in each program or in each project. Is most especially pag project, mas strict tayo pagdating sa mga project. Okay? Then next is the last one in this form is the remarks. So we provide information on the previously approved end dates if applicable. No? May also include information on the program or project beneficiaries disaggregated by sex if available. Our Form 2 is about the physical and financial accomplishment report. So this report will be used to document status of ongoing program or projects, both the ODA and locally funded that are being implemented again by the agency, by the GOCC, LGU, etc. And it shall contain the following information. We have two, the physical and financial. The physical, it is the actual progress of programs or projects against the target, scheduled accomplishments, including information on employment generated, initial observable results, problems encountered, and measures taken to be taken in order to address such issues. The second one is financial. It accounts for the appropriation, yung apat, no? Appropriation, allotment, obligations, and disbursement. Later, we'll broaden our discussions on these components. So the financial report shall also account for reasons behind low disbursements if applicable. So how we are utilizing the fund that being funded in each project to each agencies. So the responsibility here is the responsibility of the implementing agency or unit. So again, this is the actual form in accordance with the guideline. So we'll skip on this part. Again, the integrated form in the system. In this form, Form 2, Physical and Financial Accomplishment Report, we have 10 fields components. So yung mga naulit ko, hindi ko na iulitin. So program project title, same lang sa nasabi ko kanina. Same goes with the output indicator. Ito na yung financial components. We have four. The appropriations, allotment, obligations, disbursement. The first one, appropriations. This is an authorization pursuant to laws or other legislative enactment. Hence, required po ng congressional action, directing the spending of public funds for specific purpose up to specified amount under specified conditions. So ito yung usually yung General Appropriations Act or yung Act or GAA. May treatment po tayo pagdating sa mga financial components, whether siya by program or project. Pag siya ay program, it is the total appropriation for the current fiscal year in exact PHP figures. So we have to bear in mind na exact PHP figures po ang gagamitin natin. Pag naman mga project, yung total cumulative appropriations from the start of the project to the end of the reporting period, ganun din, in exact PHP figures. Cumulative siya, meaning to say, first quarter, for example, 20,000 ang amount. Sa second quarter, kasama pa rin po yung amount from the previous quarter. Madadagdagan lang siya nung amount na appropriated for that specific quarter. And so forth until last quarter, which is fourth quarter. Next is allotment. So, kung gaay yung appropriation allotment, basically, sa bidding po natin sa procurement, ito yung ABC or approved budget contract. So, ito yung contract amount. It is authorization issued to an agency permitting the agency to commit incur obligation. So, ganun din ang treatment natin for pag-program siya, total allotment for the current fiscal year, exact PHP din. Pag project, total cumulative allotment from the start of the project to the end of reporting period. So, end of reporting period, kung first quarter yan, first quarter yung end of reporting period. Next, pangatlo, yung obligations. This is yung commitment na ng government agency arising from an act of duly authorized official which already binds the government to the immediate or eventual payment of sum of money. Pag program, yung total obligation for the current fiscal year. Again, exact PHP figures. Pag project, ganun din naman. Total cumulative obligation. Laging cumulative lang po pag project, yung treatment natin. Pag program, yung total obligation na for the fiscal year. Okay? Lastly, yung disbursement. So ito na po yung settlement na payment of the obligation already. Nabayaran na. For example, no, incurred in the current or prior years involving cash or non-cash transactions and covered by disbursement authorities. So that's in accordance with DBM, no, year 2019. And pag-program, total disbursement for the current fiscal year sa buong taon. Again, exact PHP. Pag-project, total cumulative disbursement from the start of the project to the end of the reporting period. Also in exact PHP figures. Next, yung pong target OPA o yung ibig sabihin po ng OPA is overall weighted physical accomplishment to date. So this is in percentage. This is the work scheduled to be accomplished from start of the project implementation up to the reporting period We may refer po sa guidelines natin. Makikita natin yung sa website, upper rightmost portion of the ERPMS system. Yung ating pong guidelines, may Appendix D doon. Sa Appendix D po, natin makikita how we are computing the OPA or yung overall weighted physical accomplishment. Next is the actual OPA. Ito naman yung kung yung target is yung work schedule, in-schedule natin siya or tinarget natin siya. Pag sinabing actual, ito naman yung accomplish natin. So actual work accomplished from start of the implementation, ganun din, up to the reporting period in percentage din siya. And lastly, slippage. So automatic naman na kinocompute ni system yung slippage. This is the difference between dito sa dalawang preceding components natin, no? Yung target and actual. Between those figures, we can um, derive the slippage. No, it may result positive or it may be negative. Pag positive siya, it means that the project is ahead of time. Kapag negative, behind schedule. Or kapag zero naman siya, on schedule. Next is yung remarks. So in remarks, additional supporting information lang po ito ng project on the reported physical and financial accomplishment, such as but not limited ito sa mga sumusunod. First is yung accomplishment such as number of sub-projects, components, major outputs completed, or list of major works that are ongoing, suspended, or terminated. We may also specify including whether the project is suspended or terminated, reasons for physical and financial performance, actions to be taken relative to the status of accomplishments. Example po dyan, yung mga site inspection, to be subject sa mga PSS or problem-solving sessions, no? Next is previous approved and end dates, if applicable. Kasi there are times na we are having some variations sa mga projects kapag nasuspend may bagong date. So, if possible sa remarks, include natin yung mga previous approved end dates for reference and tracking din ng history ng particular project. Limitations in reporting information required in the form. So, for example, wala talagang employment generated, we may indicate no employment or no available disaggregation of employment generated by sex. We have to specify it para na-account din natin kung bakit nga ba minsan zero yung nilalagay natin sa employment generated on a very, very rare case as much as possible. And lastly, information on the program or project beneficiaries disaggregated by sex if available. Okay, we are now in on the form 3, that's project exception report. So this form is used when implementation problems are encountered, especially when immediate action by PMC or Development Council is needed, or when project implementation has been outstanding. So yung issues, ibig sabihin, yun yung mga problems na na-encounter na nakakaapekto or nakaka-contribute sa pagka-delay ng isang project, especially in terms of implementation. And yung best practices naman, factors that affect or contribute sa outstanding performance and achievement of a project outcomes and impact. Okay? So again, ang responsible dito, yung implementing agency, unit, GOCC, LGUs, PPMCs, HUCs, SUCs, RLAs that implement projects, NGO or concerned citizen. So this is the actual form. Again, we'll skip on that part. So this is the form in the system of Form 3. So we have 8 fields here. So program project title, same definition lang. Slippage, nabanggit na natin kanina. Yung findings. So this is the description of an issue. So operational constraints, concerns observed during project implementation, or an outstanding performance of a project. Gaya nga sabi ko kanina, it may be an issue or it may be a best practice. Kaya we are also accounting for the outstanding performance of a project. Take note na allow lang po dito only one finding per row. Dapat siya, no? Next is typology. For each finding, choose the applicable typology from the following. Applicable po ito to both issue or and best practice. First is yung site condition availability. So this is issues on availability of site, inadequacy of existing site structures, unanticipated geological conditions, environmental contamination or liabilities, archaeological and cultural heritage discoveries, right of way, land acquisition, and resettlement, peace and order concerns. Pangalawa yung procurement, kunwari delays in procurement and pre-procurement activities. Example, bidding failure, collapse in negotiations. Next, yung government funding institution approval. So difficulties ito in obtaining government or funding institution approvals or required clearances. Example, issuance of special presidential authority or initial authority. Next is budget and funds flow. So delayed or inadequate fund releases, adverse movement of interest or exchange rates, budgetary cuts, etc. Next is design, scope, technical specifications. So this is the faulty, inadequate design resulting in facilities which are substandard, unsafe, or incapable of delivering the services at an anticipated cost and specified level of service. It includes low demand for outputs, example, credit facilities due to uncompetitive relending rates and changes in scope and output specifications outside the agreed range. Next is performance of contractors or consultants. So failure of contractor, consultant to provide contracted services to specifications. Next is capacity of project management unit and other implementing partners. We also have institutional support, inputs and costs, legal and policy issuances, sustainable operations and maintenance, force majeure, and others. Okay? So hindi ko na iisa-isahin yun. We have that in our guidelines naman. You can check it for your reference. Next is yung issue status. So we indicate here whether the issue is current or resolved. Naka-drop down naman na po yan as of the reporting period. So applicable only ito sa issues. So sa reasons naman, we indicate yung events, residents, among others, that have caused the problems or factors, practice, or strategies that contributed to the outstanding performance or facilitated smooth implementation. Next is actions taken. So we indicate key remedial measures taken from the time when the issue was reported until the end of the reporting period. So include corresponding status of actions taken as of end of the reporting period, applicable only to issues. Next is the actions to be taken. Ito na po yung last component for this form. Indicate the specific actions to be carried out by the concerned agencies and stakeholders and corresponding timeline. So only applicable ito sa issues. Next is yung atin pong RPMES Form 4. So this is the project results. So this form shall provide information on the initial results, outcomes derived from implementing the project. These results or outcomes should be based on the indicators in the logical framework or tinatawag nating log frame. Example po, for ICC approved projects, yung mga ICC PE Form 6 and then the feasibility studies and project proposal documents. So for projects without a logical framework, the implementing agency or unit may adopt the objectives and results or outcome indicators, targets of the project to be to which the project contributes or falls under or based on the agency's program expenditure classification. So dun tayo magre-refer sa program expenditure classification. So responsible implementing agency or unit, as the case may be. So again, this is the form in the guidelines, and this is the form integrated in the system. So we have four fields or components. Again, the project program title. Next is the program project objective. So this consists of the goal and purpose as indicated in the project's log frame. So sa ICCP Form 6 po ito makikita. So feasibility studies and project proposal documents. For projects without log frame, ayun, nabanggit ko na yung kanina nasa program expenditure classification tayo magre-refer. Next is the results indicator or target. Indicators which will measure or indicate in concrete, observable, and objectively verifiable terms to what extent the expected results have been achieved should have quality, quantity, time, area, and beneficiaries dimensions. So results refer to the project objective as stated in the narrative summary of the project's log frame. And next, yung pong ating observed results. So ito naman yung actual results or outcome goals derived from the implementation. So this is cumulative as of end of the reporting period, which may be based on the regular outcome monitoring or completed evaluation studies. Okay? So we're done with the four um, important forms, input forms na kailangan nyo pong malaman. Yun lang naman po yung apat na forms na lagi po nating na-encounter quarterly or yung dalawa annually. So let's summarize or synthesize yung forms na yon in the yellow box, no? So yung diniscuss natin, yun yung po yung nasa yellow box, yung form 1, form 2, form 3, form 4. So later we'll delve into the deadlines ng mga forms na ito, no? But for now, i-relate lang natin siya sa mga output forms. Yung output forms po, nagpa-facilitate nito ay yung RPMC Secretariat. So kami na po ang nagpa-process nito. By the way, yung physical and financial accomplishment, nagkakaroon po siya ng summary. So this is by transferring this form after pong makapag-input kasi kayo at na-review namin and we accept it. Provided na walang reversion, di namin i-revert, ita-transfer po natin siya sa Form 5 for processing. And kapag na-process na natin sa output forms, we will be exporting it and processing the data externally, hindi na po sa system since still yung system ay may ilan pang limitations in terms of the specific designed processing of the data. So sa labas po natin ginagawa. Same goes with RPMS Form 3 na may input kayo, ita-transfer din namin siya sa Form 6 na output forms natin. So, yung summary lang po yung 5 and 6. So, sila po ang magka-partner. Yung 7, 8 naman, sila ang magka-partner kasi we are doing it sa labas po din. Yung mga project na na-visit natin, yung Form 7, so sa project inspection report, doon po inire-reflect. Kapag naman po may mga problem-solving session na ginagawa ang secretariat, sa 8 po natin siya ire-reflect. Usually, sa mga exit conferences po ito, lakip, during FMBs. So, yun po yung 8, kung meron. And then, lastly, yung 9, 10, 11, ito po ay annually lang din naman po itong sinasabay na sa fourth quarter report. Secretariat na rin po ito, RPMS Form 9, yung mga list of training workshops conducted, facilitated, attended by the RPMC. Yung 10 naman is yung mga resolutions na related sa RPMES. And yung 11, key lessons learned, best practices. So this is derived from the projects that are monitored, preferably yung mga subjected to the field monitoring visits. Okay? Best practices and issues. So, mga interventions that are good, no? And really resolve the problems encountered or the issues and challenges. Okay? And NPMC output forms, di ko na po isa-isahin ito. So, yung 5, ito po yung sa national level. So, 3 lang naman yan. Yung sa local, yung sa inyo po, RPMC sa amin, and yung sa NPMC. Sa NPMC po tayo, nagsasubmit finally ng ating mga report and they are processing it as well through these forms. Lastly, this is the frequency and deadline. So for the frequency and deadline, this particular form is being submitted. Form 1 po ito, Being submitted po ito every end of the third month of the year. So that's March 31. So, pagpasok pa lang po ng taon, month of January, the system is already open na for submission. So, you have 3 months to prepare since this would cover all the projects na i-declare natin quarterly sa system for round year monitoring. To reiterate, lahat po ng i-declare natin dito sa Form 1 ay kailangang i-declare natin every quarter from the second quarter up to the fourth quarter. Even those that are already completed, we have to declare them all. So this form needs to be submitted on said deadline kasi kasunod na po agad nito yung first quarter RPMES report that has a deadline of April 30. No? Deadline po yun nung agency, Kaya po naka-color red is yun yung agency submission, then yung blue naman RPMC Secretariat submission to NPMC or central office. Okay? So annually lang to, medyo unique form yung form 1 natin. Kasi March 31 siya nasasubmit. Siya yung medyo maraming duration since lahat ito ng projects eh. Tandaan po natin, kailangan i-declare siya dito sa Form 1. Okay? Next is yung Form 2 and 3. Ito po yung dalawang forms na madalas nating na-encounter, especially yung Form 2. Kasi yung Form 3 naman po, na-encounter lang natin siya kapag may above negative or positive 10 slippage. So 10 po yung threshold natin. Pag lumampas na sa 10, kailangan siyang i-declare through the drop-down box doon sa Form 3 natin. So ito po ay ang frequency ay quarterly. Ang deadline, so while the deadline for the agency submission to us, RPMC Secretariat, is 1 month after the reporting quarter, the agency submission are subject to RPMC Secretariat's processing and submission to MES within 15 days after agency submission. Kaya po kailangan din kayo mag-submit ng mga naka-color red, no? So ito pong fourth quarter, so from the previous quarter, sinasubmit po natin sila. Ang deadline ay January 31. So this week, matatapos na po yung submission nyo po ng RPMES, magko-close or lock na po yung Form 2. So kailangan po nating i-submit yung mga Form 2 natin and Form 3. That's February 14 namin po isasubmit ito sa NPMC. Okay? Yun namang first quarter, ganun lang. April 30 ang submission nyo po. Kami May 15. Yung second quarter, July 31 nyo po isasubmit. Yung third quarter report or data nyo, isasubmit nyo po ng October 31. And then yung fourth quarter ay next year na, July 30. So laging katapusan lang po ng first month yung inyo pong deadline ng mga data for the RPMES report. And lastly, ito po ang frequency niya ay annually din, no? Katulad ng Form 1. This form shall be submitted na halos kasabay na rin ng Form 1 sa simula ng taon, January 31. Um, January 31 po ang deadline ng mga agencies, while February 14 naman po ang submission ng RPMC sa national. So this will already serve as the summary ng mga projects na na-monitor during the whole previous year, providing information sa mga results outcomes na na-derive from the implementing or from implementation of the projects. So, yun yung diniscuss naman natin kaninang Form 4. So, ayun po, every ano lang siya, January 31, kasabay ng fourth quarter. Okay? So, yun lang po ang presentation natin. That's a wrap for the presentation on the refresher on 2023 RPMES operational guidelines, deadlines, and forms.